It's Dean Legge with Aaron Murray here. This was an emotional day for you. Tell me why.
Oh, it's just been a dream come true. You think ever since I started playing football, I've dreamed about this day. Committing. You see all the time quarterbacks and other players committing. Before season on TV and stuff like that, and all this press conference. So ever since I was a little kid, I always dreamed about doing this, and just a dream come true to go to a top university and just be surrounded by family and friends. It's been a special day.
But tell me why Georgia.
Oh, to narrow it down to schools I did, and there really wasn't a difference between all the schools, academic-wise, football-wise, coaching-wise, and the thing that really made a difference was just my gut feeling. I left there and went to a couple places, made a couple visits, and in the end, over the past 3 weeks, I just felt like I want to be a Bulldog. I want to go and play in that stadium. I want to play for those coaches, and I want to put that uniform on. So, it's just that gut feeling that my heart told me where to go.
Did it seem like Coach Bobo, Coach Rick, and maybe some of the coaches up there sold it to you, or I don't know, sold is the greatest word on earth, but made it feel like that was the place for you?
Oh, definitely. Those guys are unbelievable. Coach Bobo, Coach Rick are top-notch coaches, and you can see what they've done up there at Georgia. Just great seasons, win the Sugar Bowl last year, and just great people. You can sit down with them and talk about football. You can talk about life. Coach Rick's a really religious guy, which something I really like about him, and just great coaches. I look forward to playing for them.
I was here a little bit early, and you seemed very nervous. I know you said you'd already decided where you wanted to go, but how emotional was this? You talked about your brother, your grandparents, your grandmother. How tough was it for you to go through this whole ordeal and then finally have it done? Did it feel like it was all gone?
It was definitely like 100 pounds off my back right now, and it's just like I said, surrounding my family. It's just unbelievable. My support, my mom, dad, brother, sister, and I can always count on them. They've been with me through this whole recruiting process. Doing research. My parents, for some reason I woke up the other night at 3 o'clock and went downstairs to get water, and my dad and mom are on the computer doing research on schools. I'm like, go to bed already. Yeah. Give it a break. And they just my biggest supporters. They're always there for me every game, and just want to thank them for all that they've done for me.
How bad was this last week in terms of phone calls? I called you a couple times, I'll admit, but you just kind of shut it off or shut it down?
I pretty much, Coach Wiener and I and my family agreed that
smart move.
Yeah, just shut it down, and just dealing with friends and people around Tampa. It's been hard because everybody's like, where are you going? Is it Florida? Is it Georgia? And I just wanted to relax and just get this week. I didn't even talk to any of the coaches like Georgia or anybody. I want to get this week just to be with myself and just think, just make sure this is the right decision for me. I don't want to be talking to media or friends about all this stuff. I just want this time to be about me right now. Just relax and try to enjoy it my last week in this process.
Well, let me ask you this: what's been the best moment in the last week, maybe 3 weeks, since you kind of notched in your brain, oh, I'm going to go to Georgia? From that point, what's been the best moment for you?
Just that feeling that, okay, I'm going to be a Georgia Bulldog. I have the opportunity to go play in that stadium, put on that uniform, and go out there and compete with the best players in the nation. Just that waking up every morning, and actually the other night I laid in my bed for about 2 hours and just stood up on my feeling, just thinking about the future, and then went downstairs and watched Georgia film for about 2 hours until 2 o'clock in the morning. They go to bed till 2. So just that feeling like, man, I'm actually going to be playing for the University of Georgia.
And that's a big deal for you?
Huge deal for me, and definitely top university, top football school, top coaches, and I'm just, like I said, I'm extremely blessed to be put in this situation. I'm just very thankful for it all.
7-7 tonight.
7-on-7 tonight. Got 4 games. Time to go out there and win them. So it's a great day. Start off with this, and then tonight play some football. So
all right, congratulations, Aaron Murray.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.